Hi, welcome back to Tailgate Talks. I'm Tyson Martmoss, and joining me this week is Jim McDermott. Jim, who are you with, and what's kind of your job title?
I'm technical agronomist with the Calvin Asgrow, covering Northwest Iowa.
And we're going to be talking about late season stock strength.
It seems like every year we talk about the season and what this crop has gone through, but boy, this year especially, this crop has gone through a tremendous amount of stress. Obviously, some of the dry weather stress, but you also need to throw in just the heat itself. And I'd say especially the heat, Tyson, that we had over Labor Day. That really moved this crop on a little faster than what we'd like to have it. And that really adds to the stress, especially as we're getting close to black layer.
Would you say it'd go back as far as the beginning, some of this uneven emergence? Do you think that'll play in the late season stock strength?
Oh, sure. Any stress throughout the season, and especially uneven emergence, where you're dealing with a spindlier stalk or a smaller root system, those are certainly going to be factors. And then you take it into the season. There's areas that had a tremendous amount of rootworm feeding. So obviously we had stress from that smaller root system, and then the moisture stress on top of that, or even nutrient stress. If we don't have a big root system, we're not taking in that nitrogen. But really, the dry weather stress, especially the late season stress, it just naturally creates that scenario where you're dealing with cannibalization. Or in other words, the plant's starting to run out of moisture or nutrients, and it's going to do whatever it can do to fill that ear. And a lot of times that leads to cannibalization. It's going to fill that ear out, and it's going to take it from the stalk. So that's when those stalks start to get soft and are more subject to stalk rots.
Talking about stresses, I see a couple right here. You see the corn rootworm beetles whizzing around, and you also see another one in Goss's wilt right here in this leaf. Is that something that would be detrimental to the stock strength?
Absolutely. Yeah, and Tyson, that's a good example of Goss's wilt on this leaf. One of these foliar diseases that shows up, starts to work from the top usually, and it just interferes with that plant's ability to produce sugars, and may not affect the ear, especially if it comes in late. But if we have Goss's wilt showing up like this, it certainly can affect standability, because again, it'll create that scenario where you're going to do some cannibalization just because of the lack of sugar production.
So your recommendation is take the crop early?
Well, absolutely. I think we want to be on top of it. We're getting some good drying conditions. I think a lot of this corn is drier than what most growers think. So we do want to be on top of it this year and make sure we're not leaving it out there. This crop is too valuable to leave it out there where Mother Nature usually has wins in store for us in the fall.
Jim, should we go out and do the push test on some of this corn then?
Yeah, one good way to tell quickly what kind of stalk quality we have is doing a push test. So something I like to do this time of the year, just to evaluate if it's a field that needs attention.
All right, let's go take a look. All right, Jim, what's the best way to do this push test on corn?
So pretty simple, quick and easy test. Get an idea of what type of stalk quality we have, but I just like to go down the line, push over 10 stalks or more, but 10 is a minimum. And the rule of thumb is if you have 10 of them, that once you push it to a 45-degree angle or more, they don't come back. That's an indication that stalk is starting to get soft and spongy down below. So let's just give it a shot here. That one, another one that's not coming back. We got two. So just in that quick stretch, had at least 2 plants that had shut down early, or for some reason had enough stress or cannibalized where that stalk was getting soft and they didn't come back. So, that's an indicator that with a field like this, the potential for stalk lodging or problems down the road is fairly high. So one you definitely want to pay more attention to.
Yeah, 2 out of 7 plants is pretty high percentages of your field right there.
Exactly. Oh, we are in a hybrid that's a 98-day hybrid planted on the 26th of April. So, those factors, the maturity, planting date are certainly going to come into play.
So for this hybrid, we should probably get the combine going.
Yes, when you look at it, you got a lot of open husks. Haven't done any hand shelling yet here, but I'm sure we're going to be dealing with some moisture that's in the low 20s at least, if not drier. So probably a pretty good time to start to get after it.
Starting to see a lot of ears tipping down.
Yeah, on this particular hybrid, they've got a lot of ears tipping down. So we've got a lot of good drying going on right now, and I think it's we're in the time of the season where we can lose half to 3/4 point of moisture a day. So it is dropping quite rapidly.
It seems like, yeah, you get under 16, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of header loss.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ideally, I like to take corn in the low 20s as a starting point, and hopefully we can harvest a lot of it right in that window before we get down to that 16, 15%.
Take advantage of a little bit of that water weight.
Absolutely.
Well, if you have any questions with stock strength, reach out to your local FCS agronomist. Jim, thanks for joining us, and thank you guys for watching. Have a safe harvest season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tyson. Appreciate the chance to be on.
Hi, welcome to
Tailgate.
Fail. Jim, who are you with, and what's kind of your title or job title?
I'm technical agronomist with the Calvin Asgrow, covering Northwest Iowa.
Good.